Hello there and welcome back to the channel. So today in Nier Reincarnation, we just got a huge rollout of new character buffs in Karma release and existing costumes, and it's looking really sweet. Let's go ahead and do a review of each character and then maybe figure out where best to spend our Karma stones. Let's get right into it with Celeb Argo. And oh my god, Any of those wishing that the devs would have made Argo great again can now rejoice, because this is amazing. We have his attack value increased to 9,000, and then a pursuit passive at 40%. Those two things alone are going to make him hit pretty hard, and pretty competitive with new costumes. And his character skill always had this crazy pursuit buff on it, 60% for 30 seconds, which was very slept on because the rest of his kit just wasn't good enough. I mean, he came out almost at launch, came out like a week 3 or something, and never was really usable. But yeah, now his passive is increased, his attack value is increased, but that's not even the best part. This stun mechanic here. 100% chance for stun. We've never had that. We've never had a stun meta. We've never had a paralysis, anything like that in this game. But now, a guaranteed stun. Like, it only took, 2.5 years of the game existing to get a guaranteed stun. Okay, so I am loving this. I think Argo is going to get my stones. I want to try him out. Now, the drawback here, and it's going to be the drawback with all of these, is that the HP and defense are dated. And it's going to make, it's going to make them fall down really easily, especially if you want to use them in arena. They just aren't going to hold their own as much. But let's continue on. We have Celeb Griff here, who has some juicy HP now. Pretty cool. Oh, sorry, really quick. He has a gauge increase of 50% at battle start, and we saw this on Divine Udil. And with a B gauge, like it is, that means with either, an auto attack plus 2 skills, or maybe a first strike plus 2 skills, it's ready to go. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if I want to mess with stun in arena. It's only going to cancel out 1 skill. But, it's possible. Yeah, and I didn't comment on the rush because whatever. It's just stats to wind weapons. 60 is pretty good value. But okay. All right, now moving on. Celeb Griff. Again, coming in with some new juicy HP value. And let's see what was added. Reduce skill cooldown for the party if they're a water user. Otherwise, he was great early on as like a survival character, but he doesn't have an instant character skill. And, I'd have to go look them all up to remember. They didn't, on this notice, they didn't list the gauge, if it's B or whatever. But he used to be really cool, and he could still have that utility, but I wouldn't go spending any Karma Stones on him. I don't have a use for him, really, myself. This thing is cool, the CDR, but that's like, it's only worth it if it's already a really good support unit. Support not meaning a survival unit, but like a support unit, someone that buffs the party in some way. All right, Celeb Noel used to be great. It's got a great weapon. And now she's bringing an element crush for light. And still, an attack buff like always. But now with a crush, so that's pretty cool. I have a feeling most, people playing Subjugation are going to want to still opt for Fabled Noel instead for that defense break. But this could be a cool option on a light team. But I'm not going to spend any stones here. Oh my god, here we go. Now, Celeb Gale was like notorious like in the early meta as just a terrifying sniper. Even though she didn't have any extra agility, we would build her for max agility. And back then, that was all that was needed to ensure that you'd go first. And her existing bold vigor would make her hit very hard. And so for the longest time, she was, a makeshift sniper before snipers really existed. and, you know, kind of fell off. But look, now she's got a 50% agi. She's top tier. She's a top tier sniper, and like technically, for the job of like arena sniping alone, she is now the new best. And we just got Mech Gale, of course. Now, don't worry, Mech Gale has, if you invested in her, she hasn't fallen off. She's still awesome. And in fact, I'm going to be hard pressed to fire her, especially using her alongside of Divine Udil, because she benefits from that party pursuit buff to dark characters. But, you know, her natural passive is pursuit, and that's cool and all, but during the snipe, you have to get lucky to get a chain to activate that pursuit. Bold Vigor, if you're acting first, Bold Vigor is always active, because if you're going first, nobody's taking your HP away, yet you have full HP. So it looks like she got an increase up to 50. That's like Crow. That's crazy. And then 50 timed agi. So, you know, a few weapons, like 2 weapons can get her to 100. And then if you're really concerned about agi, you can give her another like flat agi weapon to boost it even further. Then you can roll karma to give her even more bold vigor. That's what I would do. Or maybe you want like the pursuit for the skill damage. So, like I said, based on the first AA, the snipe alone, she's now the best. Assuming, you know, you do full karma on her. The only drawback, once again, is the dated HP and defense. She's going to be a glass cannon. She's going to go down super easy with today's power levels. Like, it's only going to take 1 skill to sink her. So, glass cannon, crazy sniper, attack value is up to 10,000 now. Man, that is really cool. I think it's cool it's gonna be kind of like nostalgic to revive her. And yeah, Gale, Celeb Gale is gonna get my stones for sure. All right, Celeb Yuri was always one of the best PvE DPS characters for the big multiplier, the big 5-hit. And so she was already good. Now she's got buffed values in the passives. Attack up to 30. Crit hit damage up to 25. And her base attack has been raised to almost 10,000. And then it's always been about that character skill, right? But now it also adds a fire crush. Yeah, increase fire damage. Yeah, we'll receive. Yep, sure does. So, okay, cool. She was already good. Now she has a little bit of utility. So not a huge difference, but it's like she was already so good she didn't need that much. All right, Celeb Marie. Marie fans, sound off in the comments. In any case, what do we have new here? Let's see, for all allies. Okay, so when using water, she gives the party a pursuit buff. 30% for 30 seconds. And only 2 times chains needed. So that's pretty powerful. It's locked to an element, but that's very powerful, and she was already really good with that defense break. So 45% defense break, 30 seconds. So she was used a lot and kind of been replaced on subjugation teams. But on your water team, I can definitely see her making a comeback. The bold vigor has been increased to 50 as well. And yeah, attack is 9.5. So that's cool. Unfortunately for me, I only ever got her to a 0, maybe a 1. I'll probably skip using the stones on her. Okay, so those are the new character buffs. So let's get in here and look at the new Karma rollout. So we already know about Yuri, we just talked about her, but now we have Celeb Yuzuki, who was still like one of my best dark DPS. Now he's going to be even more insane. Hina, which, you know, was kind of dead on arrival when she released. Real bummer. One of her passives was wasted for the whatever it's called that gives you almost guarantee for a 3-chain. And that passive never synergized with her because she is not an arena rusher and she is not a subjugation DPS. So in the latter instance, it would be nice, like, let's say Celeb Lavanya. It would be nice to have that if you're using a proficient weapon in main hand and in your subjugation knockdown, you're like relying on the chains to recharge your character skill. And Lavanya would come out, always do a 3-punch, always do a 3-punch, and it was just really nice. So but Hina was never that, right? But she does have the Agi to party buffing, right? Which is cool in Arena. But even then, previously, it was like, okay, because she herself was then just a stat stick, where someone like Lars could do crazy damage, or Saryu brought even more buffs and could also do damage. Hina just couldn't do the damage. Well, now with Karma, you can roll that Pursuit on her, or whatever damage passive you want. Now she can be a pretty competent Arena Agi supporter. I might go ahead and spend my stones there. I just happened to get spooked by her a million times during, what was it? Did we have free summons, or we had some kind of like reprint Celeb summons in the last couple of months? I can't remember, but I ended up with like so many copies of her. It was like one of those Mama Fest banners. I can't remember exactly. All right. Then there's Celeb Marie. We just talked about that. Celeb Akeha. Now, she was really popular because she's got that buff, that goes to party, and a lot of people were using her in Arena. And I believe, what does it do? It gives a defense break to the enemy and a buff to the party, and something like that. Sorry, I can't remember exactly. I haven't used her in over a year, probably. But that character skill had amazing utility, but she kind of lacked in firepower. So now with Karma, she can hit harder, and if you loved using her, maybe you had some awakenings on her, that could be a good choice for you. I'll probably skip her Karma, but it would be cool to see her make a comeback. That character skill was really powerful. All right, onward. Celeb Udeal, who was the best provoke tank for a long time. Almost kind of still is, even without the Karma. Then, the next one we got was Lavanya, who was really cool for about a month. Because back then there was still time for AAs to go off. And I demonstrated in previous videos how sometimes he would eat 2 AAs that might have done theoretically a lot of damage, but he blocked them guaranteed, etc. Lavanya also has a ton of HP, but being water was a drawback because there's so many strong wind attackers out there that can just sink him in one skill. Then, of course, we have Serapha now, who has the gimmick of Dauntless, and a lot of really good players are using her very effectively. And I mentioned this in my last video, but I don't like using her that much. It's just so finicky, and it's really hard to find the right situation and the timing to use that character skill, and that often it's only eating a few skills, and then if she's using the Dauntless to survive, then she will absolutely guaranteed die on the next skill anyway. So I actually used Udeal more in my last climb. Well, now he has Karma, and this is going to be awesome. So I can't wait. I'm absolutely rolling Karma on Celeb Udeal. And I can't wait to see what I can get his HP to now with that Karma 1. Sweet. All right, then we have Celeb F66X, who is to this day top tier healer. Like both her and Christmas Gale, in my opinion, are the 2 S tier healers. So she's amazing, and she's absolutely worth the Karma. I don't know, she's good without it though, really. So if you're kind of like short on stones, I wouldn't go right for it. But it's going to be really cool to give her that extra HP and all those other Karma goodies. So let's see if we can do a quick wrap up there. So we have all of these old costumes. So Argo. Argo and Gale are the ones I'm most excited about, and Gale already got the... I think both of them already got the Karma release previously. Celeb Yuri. I don't know. She was already good, so you know, especially if she's your favorite, and then yeah, Marie the same thing. So out of these two, Argo and Gale are the ones I'm most excited about, and then from here, let's say Udeal. And maybe Hina if you're looking for like that edgy support, and like maybe now she can actually do some damage with a Karma passive or something like that. Akeha could be really cool, but really here I'm most excited about the last two, Udeal and F66X. Okay, so be wise, and overall, my main advice after using them, leave yourself with 60 or 90 if you have them for new costumes, future new costumes, because you don't want to be in a situation where a brand new costume comes out, you're in love with it, but you just wasted all of your stones. And I don't know how many, you know, everyone is sitting on. I'm actually sitting on lots of Karma stones. Maybe, well, we can look really quick. Yeah, so I have 200 of them, so I can afford to do lots of costumes. I want to go back and do my Divine Baldy as well, pair them up with Gale. And so I don't know how many you're sitting on, but make sure you leave yourself, you know, maybe 60 to 90 of them if you have a lot for new costumes, so you're ready to go. Because, you know, Christmas is coming up, and we're going to see some great costumes there. Well, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know who you're excited about, and where are you spending your Karma Stones? And did you change your mind after seeing this video? Let me know in the comments. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.